Take a moment to remember back to when the Trump administration made a promise to the American people that they would get to the bottom of the big issue of election fraud. Well, now the beginning stages of the investigation have begun, and after only a week, Kansas Secretary of State Chris Kobach has found fraud in 28 states. We live in a time in which information can be shared at the drop of a hat, and people are more mobile than ever before. Modern technology along with liberal ideology have changed our system from once being trusted to being the center of investigations. This is the beginning of the leftist utopia America. The left are trying to make it easy for anyone to vote at any given time and to vote as many times as they would like. Votes can be cast by people who aren't even on the rolls. These votes can be cast and counted before an investigation even begins. By the time the investigations begin, the election is over and the results are final. There have been steps to stop voter fraud, however. We are on our way to getting the solid evidence to support such suspicions, and it's seeming more and more like the left were the ones who were conducting this kind of fraud. It's important for us to note, as well, that voter fraud has been happening for around the last 20 years or so. Usually, those who have been caught have been Democrats. So, before we listen to the left when they claim that voter fraud is rampant in the United States, remember that they are usually the ones committing the crime. With all of this said, all of the information that is being collected in the preliminary examination from just the 28 states so far is insanity. If we look at history of voter fraud, this is likely just the beginning. The Washington Free Beacon has just tapped into the story and the preliminary results are coming back to the Trump Elections Fraud Commission, which was started by Trump in an executive order a few weeks back. The commission was started in order to figure out election fraud as well as voter suppression by the liberal press. Now, it has become much more, and findings are even showing voter intimidation. Kansas Secretary of State Chris Kobach as well as Vice President Mike Pence are leading the commission. They started by running the Interstate Voter Registration Cross-Check program. This program is meant to seek out duplicate voters in numerous states. There are 31 Republican, 18 Democrat, and 1 independent governorships in our country at the moment, however only 28 states take part in the cross-check program. I'd like to know how many of those states are Democratic. The stats are back. And it's not looking good. Information from the Washington Free Beacon stated that over 7 million voter registrations seem to be registered in 2 states at the exact same time. This new voter data was collected from the Kansas-operated Interstate Voter Registration Cross-Check program. This program is meant to identify possible duplicate registrations among states. The program made its start in December of 2005, and was first used for a cross-check in 2006. The Office of Kansas Secretary of State Chris Kobach administers the cross-check. Kobach's office was recently asked to help lead President Trump's Voter Fraud Commission. The most recent data has come from cross-checks of voter registration in 28 states that take part in the program. The data shows that as of right now, over 7.2 million registrations showed up in 2 states at the same time. Georgia, 660,708, North Carolina, 561,811, and Illinois, 542,065, lead the 28 states studied in potential duplicated voter registrations across state lines. The study that is being conducted shows that over 916,000 people are showing up as registered more than once within their state of residence. Data proves that the state of North Carolina accounts for 90% of potential intrastate duplicates. The 68,000 registered United States voters in the 28 states had invalid birth dates. This may include missing, incomplete, or placeholder birth dates. These can also reflect older records prior to dates of birth were kept on file. The program was also responsible for finding 32,000 registered voters who don't have proper social security numbers. The results of this commission will be completely figured out by summer of 2018. Hopefully, by then the 19 other states will be taking part in the program. It's time to expose the Democratic Party for the frauds they truly are.